Hey everybody. So let's talk about AI and astrology and cardology. As a AI engineer, scientist, technology, and also astrologer, cardologer, I don't think there's anybody better that can speak on this than me. I actually build apps using these things often. And the thing with AI and its ability to be able to interpret and predict, understand that AI, like ChatGPT or Gemini, is actually a prediction engine. That's what they do. They predict. So when we're working on the model, what it's doing is an assembling a bunch of data, and based off of the data that it has, it does predictions. That's what it does. Understand? So it can predict the next step based off of the prior knowledge that it has. So based off of the prior knowledge that the AI has, it can predict the next step, or it can predict the future. Understand, it's going to be an incredible future prediction engine. Absolutely. Because all it does is it takes all of the information that it has available to it, puts it all together, and makes an assumption based off of the data that it puts together. So that's why this is a great thing to do predictions for astrology. If you know what to give it, you have to give it the data. You can't rely on it to have accurate data. It has all kinds of data out there. It has all kinds of things that it has to put together and figure out. So the one part that you can't rely on it having is accurate data. Okay? So that's when you give it accurate data. So you give it accurate data, can do a wonderful prediction based off of the data that you give it. So if you're wanting it to predict what's going to happen for you this year and this birthday year, like AKA your solar return, then you have to give it the accurate data for it to be able to do that. You have to give it your solar return chart, right? And most of us are going to give it a screenshot, which the vision isn't 100% yet. It's just like me. Aquarius Maximus vision is bad, right? So the vision isn't 100%. So you got to you got to give it the screenshot and say, hey, ChatGPT, give me a list of the planets, the placements, and etc. from this chart. Then you go and you look at it, and you can, if you know a little bit about astrology, to be able to know the planets and the placements, you'll know when it's wrong. But even if you go back to whatever astrology app that you have to generate it, it will have a list and it will tell you the planets and the placements, etc. So you go back and say, hey, ChatGPT, my solar return moon is not in Capricorn this year. It is in Libra. You put it in Capricorn. It's actually in Libra in the fourth or the second house, right? And you want to tell it the house because the house, it knows the house wheel. So it knows bi-directional stuff based on the house wheel. So if you tell it the house, then it's going to look at the image. It's going to look at that area, the right area, and it's going to say, oh, you're right. I was wrong. Let's change that. Then you go back and tell it, okay, give me an updated list of all the placements. And you just make sure that the placements are right. Now, this is where the fun stuff comes in. Now it's where we do the predictions. It has the correct information. Remember, what ChatGPT and other LLMs do very well is predict based off of the data that you give it, right? So now what you want to do is you've already given it your chart. Now you want to tell it your whole entire situation, your whole life, right? Because what is it about? The better the data it has, the better the prediction. The more it knows, the better it can predict, right? So you're telling it your entire situation that's going on that is relevant to what you want to know. Okay? So you're like, hey, my money is not looking too good right now. This is what I'm going through. But this is what I want to achieve. You know what I mean? So now you start lining up the likelihood of things with ChatGPT. What is the likelihood that da 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 da? And this is what I'm going through right now. This astrological, and this is what ChatGPT is going to attempt to do anyway. ChatGPT is going to be throwing out interpretations to you as soon as you give it the right data. It's going to be like, oh, you want to know this? You want to know that? Let it do that too. Right? Because when you look at it, you'll be able to recognize some things that are currently happening in your situation that fit in what ChatGPT is saying. So then you can come back and say, hey, ChatGPT, I currently got this going on, and this sounds like what you were saying here. Is can you expand on that? So then it goes in and says, oh yeah, that's an example of what I'm talking about, and it'll expand on that, and you will build a whole conversation, and you'll be able to chat on that. Right? Now, is this to put astrologers out of business? I'm an astrologer. Am I trying to put myself out of business? No. You have to have faith and understand that. Why did you get into this as an astrologer? Why did you get into this as a cardologer? You got into this so you could have a fucking job? Really? Let me tell you something, baby. Jobs are going away. You have to change your mindset. Jobs equal slavery. It's going away. What can you do in its place? You can create. What you are is you are a creator. You are a teacher. You are a helper. You are an aid. You are a human. That is what you are. So you're being asked to be, you know what I mean, who you are, and not fit yourself into a paradigm of being a slave to this system and how this system is. You don't become a reader, an astrologer, or whatever for a job. And if you do, you're doing it for the total wrong reasons. That's it. And some people might not like what I have to say. Some astrologers may have a problem with what I have to say. Honey, if you want to speak on tech, get in tech. Learn tech, like I spent many decades doing. You want to get into AI, learn AI, like I spent many years doing. You want to get into data, learn data, like I've spent many years doing. Okay? And what you are and what you do is synonymous. Like being an astrologer, being a cardologer, to me is synonymous with the data and the intelligence that I use in technology. That's why I do them both. And they're both ruled by Uranus, right? So that's why I do them both. So you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to grow. This is not about having a job. This is about innovation, constant innovation and growth. That's what it's about. It's about innovating. And you are an innovator. That's what you are. You're an innovator, and you're a coach. You help guide people through the process. That's the human part of it. The human part is you're that human voice, and you help guide people through the process. You help guide. Now, right now, ChatGPT is a little bit more technical based, and eventually it could guide people through the process as well. But people still want that human touch and that humanity, right? That's what they want. They want the love. They want the love. So, so I posted about that today, and I wanted to clarify what I'm speaking of, and that, yes, ChatGPT can accurately do some predictions for you if you provide it with the accurate data, if you provide it with as much information as possible. This is what LLMs can do. And this is coming from somebody who does predictions from the top of her head. Thank you. So, anyway, if you want to hit me up for a reading tomorrow, I'm doing mini readings. So, I posted that as well. So, and I'm working on my next class, trying to see what that's going to be. Peace.